Why po?
The determination of form and substance are preliminary procedure, no? It should not go beyond what is written in the impeachment complaint. Pag sinabi nating sufficiency in form, it merely pertains to the formalities such as verification, notarization, and endorsement. That's it. Pag sinabi naman nating substance, the recital of facts as contained in the complaint should constitute the offense, which is the ground for impeachment, no? But in both cases, we are supposed to confine ourselves to what appears in the impeachment complaint. We are not supposed to go beyond. It is only after both complaints pass the standard of form and substance that we will begin to issue notice for the filing of answer by the respondent, and with the submission of all the responsive pleadings along with the evidence, dun pa lang tayo magkakaroon ng hearing where we will be listening to the testimony of the witnesses, and that time we can go beyond the impeachment complaint. But again, for the purpose of form and substance, we're supposed to determine only on what appears on the impeachment complaint. Bilang paglilinaw po para sa ating mga kababayang Pilipino, no? Ang atin pong tinapos ngayong araw na ito, kung tawagin namin under the rules, is sufficiency in form. Ibig sabihin, dapat ang impeachment complaint signed ng complainant, verified based on personal knowledge and authentic records, may endorsement, resolution of endorsement ng member of the House, and with all these considerations, pinagtibay po ng boto ng mga miyembro ng Justice Committee na ang De Jesus complaint ay sufficient in form, at ganun din ang Masa et al. Complaint ay sufficient din in form, no? Bukas po, tatalakayin naman ang sufficiency in substance. Pag sinabi po nating substance, dapat yun pong mga isinulat nila doon na pagkakamali ng impeachable official, they must constitute the offense, which is the ground for impeachment. The recital of facts must constitute the offense determinative of the jurisdiction of the Justice Committee. Hindi po sapat na nakasaad doon yung mga pagkakamali. Ang tanong, ito bang pagkakamaling ito ho ba ay impeachable offense? I hope I made it clear, no? At kagaya po ng nangyari kanina, bukas, pagkatapos pong talakayin ang sufficiency in substance, ang offense ba ay impeachable offense? Sapat ba ito para mag-constitute ng ground for impeachment? Boboto pong muli ang mga miyembro ng Justice Committee kung ang De Jesus complaint ay sufficient in substance at kung ang Masa et al. Complaint ay sufficient in substance. Again, kagaya po ng sinabi namin kanina, ito po'y preliminary matters of the entire proceeding of impeachment, and in determining form and substance, we are supposed to confine. Ang tututukan lang po namin ay kung ano ang nakasulat at nakikita namin sa impeachment complaint. We are not supposed to go beyond. Bawal pa po kaming makinig ng mga ebidensya to prove the allegations in the complaint. That will happen after these complaints pass the standards of form and substance. Sandali po for the guidance ng ating mga sumusubaybay sa atin, no? Mayroon pong 5 steps ang proceeding sa Justice Committee. 1, determination of sufficiency in form. Natapos na po yan ngayon. Bukas, uumpisahan po ang sufficiency in substance, no? On the assumption that the complaints will be declared both sufficient in form and substance, pupunta po tayo sa step 3. Bibigyan na ng notice ng Justice Committee ang respondent to file an answer. And even the complainants and the witnesses will be asked to submit their respective pleadings as well as evidences. Kung may mga affidavits and counter affidavits, dapat po panumpaan before the Justice Committee, no? Kapag kumpleto na po ito, kung tawagin po namin to responsive pleadings, kapag kumpleto na yan, we will determine if there is sufficient basis that supports the impeachment complaint. Now, if the answer is yes, we proceed to step 4. Yung step 4 po, ito na po yung hearing proper. Papa-attendin na po natin ang complainant, iimbitahan ang complainant, ang witnesses, and even the respondent. Again, as to your question, paano kung hindi dumating yung respondent? It is his prerogative. Yun pong presence during the hearing, it's part of due process. Kung hindi siya darating, it only means that he is waiving his right to be present during the hearing. After the hearing proper, we proceed to step 5. That is the last step. We determine whether or not there is probable cause that supports the impeachment complaint. Whatever is the decision of the Justice Committee on the existence of probable cause, dapat po isulat namin yan sa committee report. And the committee report will be forwarded to the plenary for the approval of at least 1/3 of all the members of the House. If it will be approved by at least 1/3, that should be transmitted to the Senate for trial. Thank you.
Ma'am, yung question on the signatures of the complainants and the alleged lack of notarization, can that be used by the impeachable official to question the impeachment proceedings before the Supreme Court?
If I may, Madam Chair, just to answer that question, the committee voted already, and it voted that the form is complete. So legally speaking, if we look at the document, all the legal requirements are complete, as said by the chair earlier. It was merely a I guess a placement issue that we saw earlier. But in terms of the contents, nandun po yung verification at nandun din po yung notarization. So kompleto naman po yung requirements. And since the committee voted, I believe for that it was 45 members voted that the form was complete. Then based on the Committee on Justice, it is complete.
It depends, of course, on the impeachable official if he wishes to bring it to the Supreme Court by way of petition, no? But for us, the Justice Committee, the fact that the endorsers are there and they are vouching about the signature of the complainant in the impeachment complaint, we believe that that is enough for us to presume that the signature is genuine and the intention to file the impeachment complaint is genuine as well.
Hello, ma'am. Good afternoon. Dwight here from Rappler. Ma'am, will the complaint will the complaint still be consolidated? Because last week you said that it will be the first step in the process. Saan na po siya mag-occur in the proceedings of the Justice Committee?
By consolidation, which I mentioned in my prior interviews, I am pertaining to taking up together. I am pertaining to transmittal of both complaints, no? So right now, it is considered as consolidated already because as you can see, we are taking up both complaints in one proceeding. But as to the physical consolidation of the grounds, the causes of action, the offenses, I believe that this will happen along with our determination of the existence of probable cause in line with the preparation of the articles of impeachment.
So after po ba ng determination of sufficiency in substance or during the hearings, tama po ba? Or
The physical consolidation of the causes of action, including the offenses, basis of impeachment, the grounds, should happen in line with the preparation of the articles of impeachment, and that should be when there is determination already of the probable cause. We will do it the same way we did in the determination of sufficiency in form. So we will be requesting the manifestation of the endorsers with respect to their position as to sufficiency in substance. That will be the Jesus impeachment complaint first, and then we will be eliciting the comments and manifestations of the members of the Justice Committee. Thereafter, we will vote. And then after that, we will proceed to the determination of sufficiency in substance of Masa et al. Complaint. After the position of the endorser, we will ask the committee members to comment or manifest on the same issue of sufficiency in substance, and thereafter, voting again. We will be doing it by complaint, not by article. That will depend on the judgment of the individual members, because as you can see, the sufficiency of form and substance are being voted upon by the individual members of the Justice Committee. So notwithstanding the fact that based on your observation, there is one ground that is not sufficient in form, while the others are not sufficient in substance, while the others are sufficient in substance, what will be material there is the appreciation and the judgment of the individual member. No. We will be asking them to deliver one position on the sufficiency of substance. And then after their manifestation, we will ask the Kongs to make their comment. So it will depend on the Kong on what will be the subject matter of their respective comments and manifestation. They can comment on one, two, or more of the grounds incorporated in the complaint. And then we proceed to voting. When we vote, we treat the complaint as one, not per ground. That is why it depends on the assessment, appreciation, and the judgment of the individual member whether, given that example, he will still consider the entirety of the complaint as sufficient in substance. Again, determination of form and substance are preliminary. The hearing proper will happen on the subsequent part of the proceeding. We will be hearing a lot of comments tomorrow. They may comment that the first ground is not sufficient in substance. They may comment that the last ground is not sufficient in substance. But at the end of the day, they will be voting upon the sufficiency in substance on the entirety of the complaint. Which decision you are referring to, no? Kasi if we are referring to the original decision of the Supreme Court, ang basis ng running of the one-year prohibition period is the impeachment complaint filed via 1/3. That was filed on February 5. That's why they're saying February 6, 2026, pwede nang mag-file ng second impeachment. However, if you are referring to the resolution recently issued by the Supreme Court, they were saying that the first impeachment complaint that was December 2, 2024, because of inaction of the House, was deemed initiated when the period of 10 session days lapsed. That was January 14 of 2025. And that is why by implication, January 15, 2026, naglapse na ang one-year prohibition period. So we are in a crossroad again. Which are we going to follow? Is it the reckoning period of February 5? Or is it the reckoning period of December 2? No? I hope that this can be clarified by the Honorable Supreme Court.
I'll add to what the chairperson said lang, no, na totoo that there's confusion as to kailan nga dapat mag-end yung one-year bar. But it all starts with the definition of the session day kasi kahit yung Korte Suprema po nalito on their decision in July, tama yung session day. It was filed timely. Yung kahit yung 1/3 na pinirmahan ng mga members of Congress. But sa resolution naman on January, bumaliktad sila. Without necessarily admitting na mali sila, they just said na ang session day is a calendar day, thereby making the reckoning date earlier than February 5. But hindi naman nila sinabi kung exactly anong day. Hindi din nila binigyan ng computation. So again, that might be another cause or source of confusion, no? That may lead again to another petition before the Supreme Court, no? By other parties who may have an interest in the case.
I think what is relevant at this point would be when the referral to the House Committee on Justice will be. So ibig sabihin po, pagka the referral is on the 6th of Feb onwards, tingin ko wala ho tayong magiging problema dito. So people can file any complaint from today up until the 6th, no? Pero we will not be in a constitutional question if the referral of the plenary to the House Committee on Justice will be on the 6th of Feb moving forward. So I think yun po yung safe period to do the referral. Kasi yung pong actual referral to the House Committee on Justice is when we reckon yung pong initiation po ng impeachment proceedings within a period of 1 year.
So, sir, you just said, taking off from your response, kung safe yung Feb 6 referral as reckoning date for initiation, kasi one initiation lang per year. So, wala nang possibility na ma-initiate yung impeachment against the Vice President using the one-third of the House. Yung katulad nung ginawa niyo last year. Hindi na po yun yung magiging mode.
Hindi, pwede pa rin ho. Pwede pa rin ho yun. So, ibig sabihin, by the 6th of Feb, pagka ho nag-decision, for example, ang 1/3 ng plenaryo to do the express route, I think that can still proceed as it should, no? So, I think at this point naman, speaking today, wala pa naman pong full determination ang Kongreso kung we will do the House Committee on Justice route or we will do the 1/3 plenary route. No?
Thank you, sir.
Ang concern ko lang is baka there might be again maling impressions eh. Kasi if you notice, yung kay impeachment ni President Marcos was immediately referred and included in the order of business. So if there will be a delay in the referral or the endorsement of this new complaints, baka naman sabihin nila iba ang treatment because it's the Vice President. So that's really an issue again, no?
Sorry, just to recap and bring it back to kung anong pinag-uusapan natin today. I just want to make it clear para sa mga kababayan natin. Ang nabotahan po natin kanina was about the form. Mahaba pa to, marami pa tayong gagawin, lalo na dito sa substance at if we see fit beyond substance. But currently, what we are discussing, what we voted and what we verified was only the form. Gusto ko maging klaro po yan para sa mga kababayan natin kasi baka isipin nila na we already approved the impeachment. Hindi po yan. Form pa lang yung pinag-uusapan natin dito. So I want to just bring us back to kung ano yung pinag-uusapan natin kanina.
I'll add to that lang, Brian. No? Kasi kanina may mga reactions na na iba ang voting number sa isa, ibang voting numbers ng isa. They were thinking na, there were changes. No? Actually, there are 2 complaints po. Dalawa po yung complaint na tinake up ng House Committee on Justice kanina. No? And resulted in different votes sa per impeachment complaint. Ang pag-approve nila on the form of that complaint. I just want to clarify it kasi may mga misconceptions na na bakit change or something like that. Now, dalawa po yung complaints na binotohan ng Committee on Justice. And it ended up with 2 different results or outcomes sa pagboto ng mga members ng House Committee on Justice.